Hey, good morning. It's Linda. Welcome back. Inner Kid Keto number 2. Told you I'd be back. If you already missed number 1, feel free to go back and catch into that before you watch this so you get kind of a continuity, but either way, you're welcome. I am wearing red and black. Actually, it's 2 below 0 where I am right now, so this is a nice warm outfit. But the reason I'm wearing red and black is because Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, America's greatest psychic, said, watch out for people wearing red and black. They're probably angry. And that's been a kind of a background in my mind for many years. I'm not particularly angry today, but I did want to wear this to give you an idea about that. Today's topic is fear and anger. Any of us with eating issues, fear issues, often eat to stuff it. And I do believe my little cat's going to come in and join us any minute. Come on, Phoebe. She may as well get acquainted. Good morning, Phoebe. Okay. She takes her anger out on little mice and sometimes has been known to catch a bird or two, which breaks my heart. I want you to focus on my little doll back here. This is little Linda. And you see how she's got her hands up by her head, like, I'm afraid, I'm pulling tight. I want to have you start to become aware of when you're feeling afraid, when you're feeling tight, because that is often the precipitous edge before falling into our addictions of eating junk food, carbs, too much. I know you know the drill. Something that can be helpful too is to realize that your thumb represents your ego. So if your thumb is out, that may be an angry mode. But if you put it inside like this, babies do that. Your thumb represents your ego. So I try to notice anytime my thumb is inside, I say, uh-oh, what's going on? Am I feeling afraid? Do I need to reinforce myself? Do I need to pull back, comfort myself, take a breath? Who am I around? What's going on? Maybe this isn't my happy place. God gave me more than a thumb. He gave me legs. I can walk away. He gave me a mouth. I can say no. I have powers if I choose to use them. And today's message is about encouraging you to use your power. Now, there is a saying that fear and anger live in this same pocket. Now, I want to show you an example of that. I found these great big pants the other day on sale, and I thought, if nothing else, the fabric was worth the thing. And they say that fear and anger live in the same pocket. So here's a pocket, and here's fear. And my fear can stop my flow, can stop my power, can stop my expression. And I can fuel my food, my frantic eating, my anxiety. When I dig deeper into the fear, guess what I get? Anger. I've shown that as red. I've even got one of those red hot fireballs in here. How many of you have had heartburn? Heartburn. What, even though it's in your stomach, what's burning in your heart? What are you mad about? You can just stop and close your eyes. Am I sad? Am I mad? How am I feeling? Am I going to cover all that anger with fear again? What's all that about? If you're in a situation that's causing you fear and anger, what can you do to get away? Now, maybe you're 11 and you need to go to Child Protective Services or grandpa or tell the teacher. Maybe you're an adult woman who's being abused by your partner. Maybe you need to tell the police or call a women's shelter. I remember times when I had to do those things. I had to be strong and brave and speak up. And I survived it. Do not let fear or anger keep you stuck. Okay? Do not let them keep you stuck. If you have to watch this 50 times before you're ready to speak up or do something, watch it 51. Keep watching. Remember that you have power. Inside all of us is this perfect essence, this shiny soul. God doesn't make junk. You are a magical soul. And if someone's making you afraid or ashamed or telling you you're ugly or fat or unlivable, they are not right. They are not reflecting your essence. You need people to see you and love you for who you are. And the first person to start that is you yourself. I like to say I love me just the way I am and just the way I am not. And I love you just the way you are and just the way you are not. Just as we are right now. Now there's a saying, anything you can breathe through, you can live through. Sometimes you just need to take a pause and take a breath. One of the things that people who are abused do routinely when the trauma and the anxiety gets too intense, as we call it, dissociation. We leave the body. There's a part of us, I remember when I was a little girl, my dad would spank me, and I would think, you might have spanked my bottom, but you didn't get me. Because I was hiding up in the ceiling somewhere. Energetically, I had split off. I learned to split off young, and I stayed split off most of my life. And anytime I felt anxiety, I went to the food. Now, I had a good metabolism. I could get away with more food than some people. But as you get older, some of that changes, and it begins to pile on. I know I'm talking to the choir. I don't have to tell you about piling it on. Today's thing is about taking it off. So the first thing, today's exercise is to notice when you're feeling afraid, or you're putting your thumb inside, or you're feeling angry and you want to put it out, or you feel your jaw tighten. That's a way people often hold their anger in. Or they stomp around, or they imagine creepy, mean things happening to somebody. It's not really wrong to express your anger. And in many households, you could die if you express your anger. You say what you need, and that person may shoot you or strangle you or beat you. That's not what I don't want you to get hurt. I want you to get away. There's a book called Getting Free by Ginny McCarthy, Ginarcthy. If you're in a situation where you need a used copy of this book and you can't afford it, you just email me, linda@lightworker22.com, linda@lightworker22.com, and I'll mail you a used copy for free. Be sure to give me a mailing address that's safe to send it to, maybe your friend's house, or if you know the mail comes during the day and he's not around or she's not around. but I don't want anybody hurt on my watch. I had to use that book to get awareness, to get away from danger in my life in the past. I no longer live in that kind of fear, any kind of fear like that. So fear and anger often fuel overeating. The hope is to convert it, to empower it, to shift it, to use it, to bring your shiny soul back and reject that which no longer serves you. The fear is a wake-up call. The anger is a wake-up call. But wake up. Don't just sit on it. If something's so dangerous you need to leave, or you're planning leaving, or you want to leave, that's probably a good sign that you need to leave. People who don't get away sometimes die. I don't want you dying on my watch. You didn't find inner Kid Keto by accident, did you? Of all the millions of YouTube videos, you found this one? Come on, we know better. So what does all this have to do with food? Actually, quite a bit. I'm going to encourage you to start doing some self-care, saying no, getting away, emailing me for that book if you need it. Noticing when you dissociate. Oh, I just left my body again. Oh, I just hid my thumb again. Oh, I just clamped my jaw again. If this is a pattern that's too common, pay attention. Maybe you're not ready to leave yet, but maybe you start plotting. Things I had to do leaving a dangerous relationship, I started hiding money in my car. In those days, you had to go to a payphone and you could make a call for a dime. I used to have a dime hidden in my car so I could call the police if I needed to. And one time I did call the police. And I says, is it against the law for your boyfriend to hit you? And they said, yes. And they said, are you okay? And I said, not really sure. If you're on the phone with the police, you're in more danger than you're acknowledging. Okay? I'm not going to go there too much longer. Notice if you want to wear red and black. Notice if you're feeling angry. And see if you can make a new decision about it besides stuffing it with food. Because if you stuff it with food, you're still sitting on your pain. You're still sitting on your anguish. No one can take care of your inner child but you. Millions of people die because they ignored their scared inner child. You're not supposed to die, not this time, not this lifetime. Nope. You matter. You matter personally to me. If you need extra support, we're going to be putting together some counseling teams, some groups, some community. If something like that interests you, just email me at linda@lightworker22.com, LIGHTWORKER22.com, and say, this is what I'm interested in, and we'll start to make it so. There is a book, who wrote that book? Laura Huxley. She was married to Aldous Huxley, who was quite a famous man back in the 50s, 60s. And the name of the book is You Are Not the Target. I read this way back. It's a good little book. It has little exercises for self-awareness. And she uses this example in one of her stories. She says, say you're a sales clerk in a department store, and somebody comes in and they're just really nasty to you. And you didn't do anything wrong. They're just being nasty to you. She says, probably what happened is that woman got up, her husband yelled at her. She couldn't do anything about it. She internalized that hurt and anger. And she comes to you and gives you a jab, like you're not any good at your job. Something mean, something heartbreaking. And she says, when this negative ball of energy comes toward you, the opportunity is not to push back and say, ah, don't get mad at the customer, punch him out and lose your job. She says, do you think of it as a ball of energy and you tighten your muscle? Your tummy muscle is what she recommends, because we can all use a tighter tummy muscle. You tighten that muscle and you silently say to yourself, I am not the target. I am not the target. I am not the target. And this converts that energy. You might take that idea forward out of today's session. And when a ball of negative energy comes at you, you're being yelled at by somebody or cut off or whatever in traffic, I'm not the target. Don't take it personally. You matter. I matter. We matter. We are light workers moving forward into this world with new tools, new awareness. If we overeat junk food, carbs, sugars, and too much of anything, even good stuff, we numb down our energy and we disempower ourselves. It's like throwing water on an electric grid. It just drops. My goal for you is to raise your energy, empower you, so that you can do what you really came here to do this lifetime. Bring more love, more light, more joy, more awareness and consciousness to our planet. You're going to be a lot happier doing that than hiding in the corner, eating, putting your hands over your ears like the little baby. Go away, leave me alone. Yes, be aware of those feelings. But it's time to turn the corner and come back to true power, the power that God gave you. That's enough for today. I'll see you tomorrow. From Linda at Kid Keto, signing off.